The elusive pursuit of happiness and the wisdom to find it. Have you ever paused amidst the whirlwind of modern life to genuinely consider what it takes to cultivate lasting happiness? It's a question that resonates deeply, given our society's relentless focus on external achievements, material possessions, and fleeting trends. Amidst the constant clamor of self-help gurus and manufactured dreams, finding authentic guidance on achieving happiness can feel like navigating a labyrinth. But fear not, for today, we embark on a journey to dissect the noise and unveil the timeless wisdom that psychology and Stoic philosophy offer on the true path to contentment. The answer, as you might suspect, lies not in grand gestures or radical life changes, but in the subtle, often overlooked aspects of our daily lives, the simple joy of laughter, the restorative power of nature, and the profound impact of gratitude. Weaving a tapestry of ancient wisdom and modern science. To truly grasp these principles, let's begin with a narrative, a microcosm of our own human experience in the search of a contented life. Once, nestled in a tranquil valley, resided a young man named Mark. From an external view, Mark had it all: material possessions, a comfortable lifestyle, and a future promising further prosperity. However, inside, Mark had this gnawing sense of incompleteness. He found himself restless, unable to shake the feeling that some essential element was missing from his life. Driven by a need to fulfill this void, Mark embarked on a quest, a search to unearth the true secret to lasting happiness. His journey led him to a secluded cabin perched atop a serene hill, where he encountered a wise old man. The old man, having lived a long and meaningful life, possessed a reservoir of wisdom that he generously shared with Mark. After hours of profound conversation, the wise man unveiled three fundamental principles for cultivating happiness: gratitude, acceptance, and love. Mark, initially perplexed by the simplicity of these concepts, listened intently as the old man elaborated. Gratitude, he explained, is the cornerstone of contentment. Without appreciating the blessings we already possess, we perpetually find ourselves wanting more, forever chasing an elusive ideal. Cultivating gratitude involves acknowledging and cherishing every moment, every breath, and every seemingly insignificant detail that enriches our lives. Acceptance, the second principle, acknowledges the inherent duality of life. Happiness and hardship, joy and sorrow, are inextricably intertwined. Resisting this natural ebb and flow leads to frustration and discontent. Embracing acceptance means surrendering the need to control every aspect of our lives, finding peace amidst the chaos, and navigating life's inevitable challenges with grace and resilience. Finally, love, the most profound of the three principles, encompasses love for oneself, love for others, and love for the world around us. Only when our hearts are overflowing with love can we truly radiate happiness outwards and receive it back in abundance. Love empowers us to connect with others on a deeper level, to cultivate compassion and empathy, and to find meaning and purpose in our lives. As Mark began to integrate these principles into his daily life, a remarkable transformation occurred. He discovered that the happiness he had sought externally was, in fact, something to be cultivated from within. His friends and family in the valley noticed the change, drawn to the newfound joy and contentment that radiated from him. When asked the secret to his transformation, Mark simply replied, "Happiness isn't a destination, it's a journey." By living with gratitude, acceptance, and love, we discover that happiness has been within us all along. Now, let's delve into a collection of 13 powerful lessons, rooted in both Stoic philosophy and modern psychology, to empower you to lead a happier, more fulfilled existence. 1. Laugh more, the universal language of well-being. Have you ever observed the way we often complicate life unnecessarily, treating almost everything with extreme seriousness? We seem to compete in a global contest of who can frown the hardest. Entangled in daily responsibilities, stresses, and struggles, we forget to relax, let go, and laugh. Science and ancient wisdom concur, laughter isn't just a feel-good action, it's vital for mental and physical well-being. The Stoics, masters of remaining calm under pressure, knew the importance of keeping a light heart. Epictetus said that people are not disturbed by things, but by the view they take of them. How you react to life's challenges can either weigh you down or set you free. Laughter frees you from the heaviness of stress. It releases endorphins and serotonin, elevating mood and helping us cope with pain. Laughter reduces cortisol and adrenaline, hormones that surge when we're stressed, thus calming the nervous system. Laughter, as Dr. Lee Burke found, works like a natural stress reliever, lowering blood pressure, boosting the immune system, and reducing stress hormones. But what if you don't feel like laughing? Stoicism teaches us to control our response to external events. Choosing to laugh, even in tough situations, is a conscious decision to find the lighter side of life. Forced laughter, like in laughter yoga, has the same positive effects as spontaneous laughter. Research shows cancer patients in laughter therapy feel less depressed, more hopeful, and better equipped to face their challenges. Incorporate more laughter by finding humor in the little things, laughing at your mistakes, and not taking things too seriously. If you're stuck in traffic, instead of fuming, find something to laugh about or listen to a funny podcast. Laughter is a skill you can develop to navigate life's ups and downs, promoting mental and physical health. As the ancient saying goes, laughter is the best medicine, even when it feels like the world is giving you nothing to smile about. 2. Get outside and connect with nature, reconnecting with our roots. Contemplate your typical day for a moment. How much of it unfolds indoors, amidst screens, artificial lighting, and recycled air? Modern life often confines us within walls. We become glued to our phones, immersed at our desks, and by day's end, we may feel disconnected from the world. But humans are designed to live outdoors, connected with nature, in sync with the earth's rhythms. The Stoics believed in aligning ourselves with nature. Marcus Aurelius wrote that nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. This means that nature has its own pace and way of functioning, and when we align ourselves with it, life becomes more peaceful and balanced. Spending time in nature, even if it's just a park, beach, or your backyard, profoundly affects your mental and physical health. Studies show that being outdoors can lower stress levels, improve mood, and boost creativity. Spending just 20 minutes in a natural setting can significantly reduce cortisol levels. Reconnecting with nature doesn't require week-long camping trips or hiking through a forest. Take a walk around your neighborhood, sit on a park bench, or open your windows to let in fresh air and natural light. This breaks the monotony of indoor life. Forest bathing, originating in Japan, involves spending time in the forest to improve health and well-being. Studies show it can lower blood pressure, improve immune function, and increase energy levels, even with just trees, plants, or natural elements like water or wind. Nature grounds us and reminds us of the bigger picture, helping us put our worries into perspective. Walking outdoors, especially in green spaces, is linked to lower levels of depression, anxiety, and even chronic pain. The Stoics understood that nature was the ultimate teacher, showing us how to live with patience, resilience, and acceptance. 3. Be a morning person, seizing the day with intention. Mornings often get a bad reputation. Waking up early can feel like a punishment, pulling you out of the warmth of your bed to face another day of obligations. But becoming a morning person could be one of the best decisions you make for your happiness, health, and overall sense of well-being. Waking up early is more of a habit than a genetic trait, and once you make the shift, the benefits are undeniable. The Stoics, placing great emphasis on discipline and self-control, understood the value of starting the day early. Marcus Aurelius said that at dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. This highlights the idea that mornings are not just about facing obligations, they are an opportunity to embrace your purpose. By waking up early, you set the tone for the rest of your day. Early risers tend to be more optimistic, proactive, and less likely to experience stress. Studies show that people who wake up earlier report higher levels of positive emotions and overall life satisfaction, as well as lower risks of conditions like obesity and depression. One of the key reasons waking up early is so beneficial is that it gives you time. When you wake up before the world does, you have precious quiet moments to yourself, perfect for reflection, planning, or just enjoying a cup of coffee. This allows you to set your intentions for the day, making you more focused and productive. Waking up early also aligns you with your body's natural rhythm. Our bodies are wired to follow a circadian rhythm, which is an internal clock that regulates when we feel awake and when we feel sleepy. By going to bed earlier and waking up with the sun, you're working in harmony with this rhythm, making you feel more energized and improving the quality of your sleep. Becoming a morning person doesn't mean you have to suddenly start waking up at 5 a.m. every day. Gradually adjust your schedule, going to bed 15 minutes earlier and waking up 15 minutes earlier each day. Use your extra time to do things that are important to you but often get pushed aside. The Stoics believed in the power of reflection, and the early morning is the perfect time for it. As Seneca said, the mind must be given relaxation, it will rise improved and sharper after a good break. To help you get out of bed in the morning, have something to look forward to, such as a peaceful breakfast, a walk, or a good book. 4. Pack your days with plans, investing in meaningful experiences. Have you noticed how some days fly by while others drag on? Time can feel so different depending on how we fill it. Lazy weekends where we have nothing planned can leave us wondering where the time went. Days packed with activities and plans feel more fulfilling, as if we've made the most of our time. The key is to fill your days with purposeful, meaningful plans that add value to your life, not just being busy for the sake of it. Seneca warned about wasting time, calling it one of our most valuable resources. He believed we should use it wisely, with intention and purpose. Packing your day isn't about filling every minute with mindless tasks, it's about being intentional, planning activities that bring you joy, fulfillment, and growth. It's about balancing productivity and spontaneity. Think of your time like a bank account. Every day, you're given a limited amount of hours, and it's up to you how you spend them. Investing your time wisely means spending it on activities that nourish our minds, bodies, and relationships. Studies show that people who plan their days tend to feel more satisfied with how they spend their time, as well as having a greater sense of control over their lives. Setting goals and making plans gives us a sense of direction. This isn't about turning your life into a rigid schedule, it's important to leave room for spontaneity and relaxation. Plan your day with intention to give yourself the freedom to enjoy each moment rather than feeling like time is slipping away. Think about what really matters to you, what activities bring you joy, and what you've been meaning to do but keep putting off. Make a commitment to prioritize these activities, write them down, and schedule them into your day. Dedicate the first part of your day to your most important tasks when your mind is fresh and focused, then set aside time in the afternoon for more creative or social activities. Set small, achievable goals for each day to help you stay on track and give you a sense of accomplishment. The goals don't have to be monumental, even something as simple as going for a walk, calling a friend, or reading for 20 minutes can make a big difference. The Stoics believed that we should approach each day as an opportunity to grow and improve ourselves, to become better, wiser, and more fulfilled, but only if we use our time wisely. If your plans get derailed, don't stress, just adjust. The important thing is to stay flexible and focus on what you can do with the time you have left. Packing your life with plans isn't about being busy, it's about being mindful of how you spend your time, making sure that your days are filled with meaning, growth, and joy. 5. Don't quit on what you love, embracing the power of perseverance. How often have you thought about giving up on something you love just because it felt hard? It's easy to wonder if it's worth the effort to keep going. But quitting on what you love doesn't just mean abandoning a passion, it means denying yourself one of the greatest sources of fulfillment and happiness. The Stoics believed that life was full of challenges and setbacks and that the key to a fulfilling life was not in avoiding difficulty but in pushing through it. Seneca said that it is not because things are difficult that we do not dare, but because we do not dare that things are difficult. The things you love are worth fighting for, even when they seem out of reach. Often, we quit because we get discouraged, but anything worth doing takes time, effort, and persistence. The path to greatness is full of twists, turns, and unexpected challenges, which is exactly why you shouldn't give up. Perseverance teaches us patience, resilience, and discipline, essential qualities for leading a meaningful life. Research shows that people who stick with their passions tend to be happier and more satisfied with their lives, as well as experiencing greater levels of well-being, lower levels of stress, and a stronger sense of purpose. This is because doing what you love taps into a deep well of intrinsic motivation. The Stoics teach us that struggle and hardship are an inevitable part of life and that true happiness comes from overcoming these challenges. 6. Go for kindness, the ripple effect of compassion. In a world that often feels rushed, stressed, and self-absorbed, kindness can seem like an outdated concept. But kindness is one of the most powerful tools we have for improving not only the lives of others but also our own. Choosing to be kind can make a huge impact on your happiness and how you navigate the world. The Stoics understood that while we can't control the actions of others, we can always control how we respond. Marcus Aurelius wrote that kindness is invincible, but only when it's sincere, with no hypocrisy or faking. Kindness isn't just about doing nice things, it's about approaching life with a genuine, sincere desire to be a force for good. Kindness is contagious. When you're kind to someone, it creates a ripple effect. Studies show that when people witness or receive acts of kindness, they're more likely to pay it forward. Research at UCLA found that kindness has a profound impact on both the giver and the receiver. People who engage in kind acts experience a boost in mood, reduced stress levels, and even improved physical health. Those who receive kindness are more likely to report feelings of gratitude and happiness, improving their relationships and overall well-being. Kindness is a habit that anyone can build. The Stoics believe that being kind is part of our duty as human beings, recognizing our shared humanity and treating everyone with respect and compassion. Incorporate more kindness into your life by being mindful of how you interact with others. If you can slow down and become more aware, you'll find countless chances to spread kindness every day. Choosing kindness not only diffuses tension but also helps you stay calm and centered. Actively look for opportunities to help others, such as holding the door open or sending an encouraging text. The more you practice kindness, the better you'll feel. Seneca wrote, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness," highlighting how kindness is always within our reach. Kindness, when practiced sincerely, comes from a place of strength, not weakness. It's about acting with integrity and compassion without expecting anything in return. In a world that can sometimes feel harsh, kindness is a way to reclaim your sense of agency, reminding you that even in the face of negativity, you have the power to make a positive impact. By choosing kindness, you're creating a life filled with meaning, connection, and joy. 7. Say yes more often, embracing new horizons. How often do you find yourself saying no to life, turning down invitations or opportunities just because they push you out of your comfort zone? While there's nothing wrong with setting boundaries, constantly saying no might be closing doors to experiences that could bring joy, growth, and a sense of adventure into your life. The Stoics didn't shy away from challenges or new experiences, believing that life was meant to be lived fully and that growth often comes from stepping into the unknown. Epictetus said that it's not what happens to you but how you react to it that matters. Saying yes to life doesn't mean you have to accept every single opportunity, but it does mean being open to new possibilities and adventures, even when they seem intimidating or unfamiliar. For many people, stepping out of their routine feels uncomfortable or scary. The Stoics understood that discomfort is a natural part of life, and avoiding it only leads to stagnation. By saying yes more often, you give yourself the chance to learn, grow, and experience life in new and exciting ways. Think about the last time you said no to something because it made you feel uneasy. Saying yes opens the door to possibilities that no can never offer. Research shows that trying new things and saying yes to experiences releases dopamine in the brain, a chemical associated with pleasure, motivation, and reward. When you say yes to new experiences, you're expanding your horizons and giving your brain a boost of positivity. If you find that you're saying no out of habit, fear, or laziness, it might be time to reconsider. The Stoics believed that we should approach life with openness and curiosity. Saying yes can also improve your relationships, strengthening those bonds and creating lasting memories. The Stoics would tell you to embrace that challenge, believing that adversity is not something to be avoided but something to be embraced. By saying yes, you're engaging with life in a way that's proactive and adventurous, and even if things don't go as planned, you'll have learned something valuable along the way. Saying yes builds confidence. The more you step outside of your comfort zone, the more you realize that you're capable of handling whatever life throws your way. Each new experience, whether it's a success or a failure, adds to your personal growth. Saying yes more often is about embracing life's opportunities with an open heart and mind, stepping out of your comfort zone, and allowing yourself to grow through new experiences. 8. Turn off your phone sometimes, reclaiming presence in a hyper-connected world. How often do you find yourself glued to your phone, checking emails, scrolling through social media, or just killing time? Our phones have become an extension of ourselves, but the constant stream of notifications, messages, and distractions can rob us of our presence in the moment. Turning off your phone can be a radical yet effective way to reclaim your time, focus, and well-being. The Stoics understood the importance of being fully present, believing that distraction was one of the greatest obstacles to living a good life. Seneca said, "He who is everywhere is nowhere." When our attention is divided, we aren't truly experiencing anything fully, missing out on the richness of the present moment, genuine interactions with the people around us, and even the peace that comes with solitude. Phones have become a source of comfort, entertainment, and validation, but this constant connection often leads to increased stress, anxiety, and a sense of being overwhelmed. A study found that excessive smartphone use is linked to higher levels of anxiety, depression, and sleep disturbances. The solution? Turn it off. By intentionally disconnecting from your phone, even for short periods, you give yourself the gift of uninterrupted time, which can be used for reflection, creativity, or simply to enjoy the present moment without distraction. It's a digital detox, a break from the noise and busyness of the online world. Smartphones are incredibly useful tools that make our lives more convenient, but the problem arises when we become so dependent on them that they start to control us rather than the other way around. The Stoics believe that we should always aim to control what's within our power, including how we use technology. Take charge and decide when and how you want to use your phone. Set specific times during the day when you turn off your phone, such as during meals, when you're spending time with loved ones, or before bed. This allows you to fully engage in the present moment. Have phone-free periods throughout the day, focusing on being fully present in whatever you're doing, such as going for a walk, reading a book, or simply sitting in silence. The Stoics emphasize the importance of solitude and reflection, seeing it as essential for self-improvement and inner peace. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." Turning off your phone creates the space for this kind of retreat. Turning off your phone also improves your relationships. Divided attention signals to the other person that they aren't your priority. When you put your phone away during conversations, you're showing the other person that you value their time and presence. 9. Take breaks and go on trips, recharging for a balanced life. We've all heard the saying, "All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy." In today's fast-paced world, many of us have become so focused on productivity and meeting deadlines that we forget the importance of taking breaks and stepping away from our routines. Giving yourself time to recharge, whether it's a simple break during your workday or an actual vacation, is essential for both your mental health and overall well-being. The Stoics understood the importance of rest and renewal. They believed that balance was key to a good life. Seneca discussed how taking time for leisure, or odium, was essential for living wisely. He said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future, meaning that taking time to relax and appreciate life in the moment is a crucial part of happiness and contentment. Often, we're caught up in the mindset that productivity is the most important thing and that stepping away, even briefly, is a waste of time, but rest is not the opposite of productivity, it's a necessary part of it. By taking breaks, you're giving your brain and body the time they need to recharge, which makes you more effective in the long run. Our brains aren't designed to focus for long stretches of time without rest. After about 90 minutes of continuous work, our cognitive function starts to decline. By stepping away from your tasks, even for just 5 or 10 minutes, you allow your brain to reset, making you more focused and creative when you return to work. Taking breaks also boosts your mood and reduces stress. Vacations aren't just a luxury, they're a necessity for long-term well-being. Taking a trip allows you to completely disconnect from your daily responsibilities and recharge on a deeper level. When you remove yourself from your usual environment, you gain a fresh perspective and return with more energy and creativity. 10. Hang out with friends and family, nurturing the bonds that define us. In the pursuit of success, personal growth, and happiness, it's easy to forget one of the most essential elements of a fulfilled life: relationships. The connections we build with others, whether it's spending time with family, catching up with old friends, or meeting new people, are what make life rich and meaningful. Yet in the hustle and bustle of modern life, relationships are often one of the first things we neglect. But nurturing our relationships is key to living a happy and balanced life. The Stoics understood the value of relationships, believing that humans are social creatures meant to live and thrive in connection with others. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that he was part of a larger community and that caring for others was not just a duty but a fundamental part of life. He wrote, "Men exist for the sake of one another, teach them then or bear with them," highlighting the importance of relationships in living a good life. Spending time with friends and family brings joy and meaning to our lives, providing a sense of belonging, support, and love that can't be replicated by achievements, material success, or individual pursuits. Studies show that strong social ties are linked to greater happiness, improved mental health, and even longer life expectancy. Those with strong connections to family, friends, and community experience less stress, have fewer health problems, and even live longer than those who are isolated. It's not just about having people around you, it's about nurturing those relationships. Seneca wrote, "There is no enjoying the possession of anything valuable unless one has someone to share it with," perfectly encapsulating the idea that life's joys are meant to be shared. In our busy lives, relationships often take a back seat. The Stoics would remind us that time is fleeting and that we should make the most of the time we have. One of the core principles of Stoic philosophy is the awareness of mortality, or memento mori, the reminder that life is short and we should make the most of the time we have, including making time for the people who matter most. 11. Help others out, the unexpected rewards of giving. There's a simple truth that often gets overlooked: helping others is one of the most powerful ways to find fulfillment and happiness. Acts of kindness don't just benefit the recipient, they also enrich the giver. The Stoics believed that one of the greatest purposes of life is to contribute to the well-being of others, and modern science backs this up. The Stoics, known for their focus on self-discipline and personal responsibility, didn't believe in living in isolation from others. They emphasized the interconnectedness of all people, teaching that we have a duty to help one another and contribute to the common good. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What is not good for the beehive cannot be good for the bees," illustrating how individual well-being is tied to the well-being of the community. Helping others is not just an act of charity, it's an essential part of living a harmonious and meaningful life. Helping others provides a sense of purpose. By focusing on someone else's needs, you gain perspective, often realizing that your own challenges aren't as overwhelming as they seemed. Research supports this idea. Studies show that people who regularly engage in acts of kindness or volunteer work experience lower levels of stress and anxiety. People who help others report greater life satisfaction and mental health because helping others activates the brain's reward system, releasing feel-good chemicals like dopamine and oxytocin, which boost mood and reduce stress. In a way, helping others is a natural way to improve your own well-being. The Stoics believed that virtue was the highest good and that one of the most virtuous things you can do is to act in service of others. 12. Focus on the good stuff you've got, shifting perspective towards gratitude. It's easy to get caught up in what we don't have. We live in a world where comparison is constant, and it often feels like there's always something missing in our own lives. While ambition can be a good thing, always focusing on what's missing can lead to a cycle of dissatisfaction and unhappiness. This is where the power of gratitude comes in. By focusing on the good stuff you've already got, you shift your perspective and start to appreciate the richness of your life as it is right now. The Stoics were big on gratitude, believing that contentment didn't come from getting more but from appreciating what you already have. Seneca said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor," reminding us that constantly chasing after more will never lead to happiness. True wealth, according to the Stoics, is found in being satisfied with what you have and in making the most of the present moment. Human nature tends to focus on what's lacking. Our brains are wired to notice gaps, whether it's in our careers, relationships, or material possessions. Practicing gratitude helps you see the positives rather than always focusing on what's missing. Studies show that people who regularly practice gratitude experience higher levels of happiness, better physical health, and even stronger relationships. Gratitude is one of the simplest, most effective tools for improving your well-being. The Stoics believed that gratitude should be practiced daily, not just when things are going well. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself to be grateful for the simplest things, such as waking up, having food to eat, and being surrounded by loved ones. He understood that life is full of challenges and uncertainties, but by focusing on the good in each moment, we can cultivate a sense of peace and contentment no matter what's happening around us. A powerful way to start focusing on the good stuff you've got is to practice mindfulness. When you take a moment to pause and reflect on the present, you'll notice things you might have overlooked. These small everyday moments are easy to take for granted, but they're often the very things that bring joy and contentment when we take the time to appreciate them. 13. Let go of grudges, releasing the weight of resentment. Holding on to grudges is like carrying around a heavy burden that only gets heavier with time. The anger, resentment, or hurt you feel might seem justified in the moment, but over time, it does more harm to you than to anyone else. Carrying a grudge can weigh you down emotionally, mentally, and even physically. While it's perfectly natural to feel hurt or upset when someone wrongs you, holding on to those feelings for too long can prevent you from moving forward and finding peace. This is why learning to let go of grudges is one of the most powerful things you can do for your happiness and well-being. The Stoics understood that clinging to anger only harms the person who holds it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." Letting go of a grudge doesn't mean you're excusing someone's actions, it means you're choosing not to let their actions control your life any longer. For many people, holding on to anger feels like a form of protection. It's as if by staying angry, we're keeping ourselves safe from being hurt again, but grudges trap us in the past, forcing us to relive the pain over and over again. The Stoics would argue that by holding on to a grudge, you're giving power to the very person or situation that caused you harm. Studies show that letting go of grudges can have significant benefits for your health and well-being, leading to lower levels of stress, anxiety, and depression, as well as better mental health, improved relationships, and even physical benefits. The Stoics believed that one of the most important aspects of forgiveness was realizing that everyone makes mistakes. Epictetus reminded his students that people act based on their understanding of the world at the time. He said, "If someone speaks badly of you, do not defend yourself against the accusations, but reply, 'You obviously don't know me very well, or else you would have mentioned other faults of mine,'" illustrating the Stoic approach to insults and grievances, which involves rising above them with self-awareness and humility. Conclusion: a timeless path to a fulfilling life. We've explored 13 lessons rooted in Stoic philosophy and practical wisdom, all aimed at helping you live a happier, more fulfilled life. From laughing more and connecting with nature to letting go of grudges and saying yes to life's opportunities, these principles remind us of the importance of balance, mindfulness, and self-improvement. Happiness, as the Stoics would argue, is not something we stumble upon by chance, it's something we cultivate through our daily actions, our mindset, and the way we engage with the world around us. One of the most significant takeaways from Stoic philosophy is the idea that happiness comes from within. It's not determined by external circumstances, achievements, or possessions, but by how we choose to think, feel, and respond to life's challenges. The Stoics teach us that we have control over our own minds, even if we can't control everything that happens to us. By focusing on what's within our power, our thoughts, our actions, and our attitudes, we can create a foundation for lasting happiness, regardless of what life throws our way. Each of the 13 points we've explored is a tool for building this foundation. The beauty of Stoic philosophy is that it's practical and adaptable. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. Start small, pick one or two lessons that resonate with you the most, and focus on incorporating them into your daily routine. Whatever it is, remember that happiness is a journey, not a destination. It's something you cultivate over time through consistent practice and reflection. The Stoics also emphasized the importance of reflection and self-awareness. Take time each day to reflect on your actions, your thoughts, and your emotions. Ask yourself, how did I respond to challenges today? Did I focus on the good in my life, or did I get caught up in what I'm lacking? Am I living in alignment with my values, or am I letting distractions and external pressures dictate my actions? This kind of reflection helps you stay on track and continue growing both as a person and in your pursuit of happiness. And finally, remember that life is about balance. The Stoics didn't believe in extreme deprivation or indulgence, they believed in living in harmony with nature, which means finding balance in everything you do. Enjoy life's pleasures, but don't become attached to them. Work hard, but take time to rest. Pursue your goals, but don't let them define your worth. Happiness isn't about chasing perfection, it's about finding peace in the present, no matter what that present looks like. As you move forward, keep the Stoic principles in mind. They are timeless lessons that have guided people for centuries, and they can help you navigate the complexities of modern life with wisdom, strength, and grace. Whether you're facing challenges, striving for personal growth, or simply trying to live with more joy and peace, Stoicism offers a practical path to a fulfilling life. So, let's talk actionable steps. Where do you even begin when faced with this wealth of wisdom? Well, the beauty of these Stoic-inspired principles is that they're not prescriptive edicts demanding immediate, sweeping changes. Instead, they're gentle nudges, invitations to incrementally integrate these ideas into the fabric of your daily life. Start small, aim big, over time overwhelmed. Don't be. Resist the urge to overhaul everything at once. Think of it as planting seeds. Select one or two principles that particularly resonate with you, the ones that feel like they address a specific area where you're seeking improvement. Perhaps it's the call to laugh more, if you've been feeling weighed down by seriousness, or get outside and connect with nature, if you've been noticing a disconnect from the natural world. Micro habits, macro results, don't underestimate the power of small, consistent actions. These are micro habits, tiny tweaks to your routine that, over time, compound into significant changes. If you're focusing on laugh more, maybe that means intentionally seeking out a funny video each day, sharing jokes with friends, or simply cultivating a lighter perspective when faced with minor inconveniences. If it's get outside, it could be as simple as committing to a 15-minute walk in a nearby park during your lunch break, even if it's just a quick circuit around a tree-lined block. The ritual of reflection, your daily Stoic check-in. Stoicism isn't just about following a list of rules, it's about cultivating a conscious awareness of your thoughts, emotions, and actions. This is where the practice of reflection comes in. Designate a specific time each day, perhaps before bed, or during your morning coffee, for a brief, Stoic check-in. Ask yourself, how did I respond to challenges today? Did I react with anger, frustration, or a calm, reasoned approach? Did I focus on the good in my life, or did I get caught up in what I'm lacking? Did I practice gratitude, or did I succumb to feelings of envy or dissatisfaction? Am I living in alignment with my values, or am I letting distractions and external pressures dictate my actions? Am I prioritizing what truly matters to me, or am I being swept along by the demands of others? Where can I improve tomorrow? This daily reflection is your compass, helping you to stay on course and adjust your actions as needed. Embrace the journey, not just the destination. It's crucial to remember that happiness isn't a fixed state to be achieved and then maintained. It's a continuous journey, a process of cultivation. There will be days when you stumble, when you find yourself falling back into old patterns of negativity or distraction. That's okay. Don't beat yourself up about it. Simply acknowledge it, learn from it, and recommit to your chosen path. The important thing is to keep moving forward, even if it's just one small step at a time. The Stoic Toolkit, resources for further exploration. If you find yourself drawn to the principles of Stoicism, consider exploring some additional resources. Classic texts, dive into the works of the great Stoic philosophers, Marcus Aurelius' Meditations, Seneca's Letters from a Stoic, and Epictetus and Kyridion. These texts offer timeless wisdom that remains relevant even today. Modern interpretations, numerous contemporary authors have adapted Stoic philosophy for modern audiences. Look for books that offer practical guidance on applying these principles to your daily life. Online communities, connect with others who are interested in Stoicism. Online forums and social media groups can provide a supportive community for sharing ideas, asking questions, and staying motivated. Meditative practices, mindfulness and meditation are powerful tools for cultivating self-awareness and emotional regulation, skills that are essential for practicing Stoicism. Beyond the individual, the ripple effect of Stoic living, while Stoicism is often seen as a path to individual well-being, it also has profound implications for our relationships with others and for the world around us. By cultivating virtues like kindness, compassion, and justice, we can create a more positive and harmonious society. Remember that helping others is not just an act of charity, it's an essential part of living a meaningful life. The ongoing experiment, your life as a laboratory. Ultimately, the practice of Stoicism is an ongoing experiment, a continuous process of self-discovery and self-improvement. Be patient with yourself, be kind to yourself, and be open to learning and growing. Your life is a laboratory, and you are the scientist. Don't be afraid to experiment, to try new approaches, and to adapt your practices to fit your unique circumstances. The journey to a more fulfilling life is a lifelong endeavor, and it's a journey well worth taking. So, take a deep breath, choose a path, and start walking. The world awaits your transformation.